It was about 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning at Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. Many of the sailors were still asleep aboard one of the many ships present. Others were enjoying their breakfast or getting ready to go to church. Everyone was just going through their regular routine on a Sunday, and to everyone it was just a normal morning. Out of the blue, Japanese planes flew in from what seemed like nowhere and started dropping bombs on the harbor. Many did not know what was going on and were stunned, scared, and confused. The few thousand sailors were left hopeless against the 200 airplanes now bombing everything in sight. A few managed to get in nearby planes to try to take down the bombers. However, they were greatly outnumbered and could not do much.
Why the hell is the Navy doing practice this early on a Sunday? Another dumb drill.
After about 2 hours had passed, the bombing was finally over. The Japanese had killed more than 2,000 U.S. sailors and soldiers, and another 1,000 were wounded. Along with them, 20 American naval vessels, 8 being large battleships, and a couple hundred planes were destroyed. Although many died and the U.S. lost a few resources, the Japanese had failed to accomplish their goal: wipe out the U.S. naval fleet and cripple their morale. The most important naval vessel after the 1940s had become the aircraft carrier, and it just so happened that all of the Pacific Fleet's aircraft carriers were away from the base the day of the bombing, meaning that the U.S. could recover from the attack fairly quickly and still remain strong. Ultimately, the only real impact the bombing had on the United States was that it united the country and gave the public reason to support the U.S. involvement in World War II. On December 8th, the U.S. declared war on Japan and officially became a member of the Allied Powers.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. The United States was at peace with that nation, and at the solicitation of Japan, was still in conversation with its government and its emperor, looking toward the maintenance of peace in the Pacific. The attack yesterday on the Hawaiian Islands has caused severe damage to American naval and military forces. I regret to tell you that very many American lives have been lost. In addition, American ships have been reported torpedoed on the high seas between San Francisco and Honolulu. As Commander-in-Chief of the Army and Navy, I have directed that all measures be taken for our defense, but always will our whole nation remember the character of the onslaught against us.
On September 2nd, 1945, World War II was finally over. The Allied powers accepted the unconditional surrender of the Axis powers. Just about 4 years after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, the United States were finally able to see justice done.